Hey, this is Jason Burke, the Sovereign Earthling. I appreciate you guys checking out the videos. If you look at my prior videos from a year ago, I've really got a lot of value out of listening to those again at certain times, and synchronicity provides, of course, that we hear exactly what we need in the moment when reinvestigating things, and that's why listening to them again is important, and even for me, along with a lot of the other researchers that I love and enjoy, I'll go back and listen to entire catalogs again and hear totally different things. So it is a good way to treat this research, and that's part of why the new format I'm pursuing here is a sovereignty freestyle format. This will be no script, so we'll just talk about whatever occurs. Again, I appreciate you checking it out. Something occurring for me this morning is just how much harmony exists in the nature around us, how well the patterns fit together. And if you spend any time in nature, you'll find it's not at all like listening to the Weather Channel, where they just report the next catastrophe, as if that's all we need to be concerned with ever. There is a harmony and a balance, and it's something that humans are no longer in harmony with. I do believe there was a time our native aboriginal civilizations spanning the globe, if it is a globe, were more in harmony with the nature. They also were more in harmony with each other. But part of the lie that there were just these Native American warriors that already had their lives perfected in their own opinions, and they knew there was going to be a problem. They knew they internally had a problem already, as we have to recognize that we do too, and not be so egotistical to think that everybody else is doing something wrong all the time, and that's why the world can't get it together. It's absolutely ourselves, and like these native people realized too, that's why it didn't surprise them to see people come and try to dominate them, is they knew already that they had fallen into patterns of trying to dominate each other on occasion, and that this was a mental sickness. This mental sickness has evolved. It's taken hold of humanity. This also was prophesized by the native people of the world, and we're seeing the extremities of it now, as what was basically a coup in the colonial period of our history to take over humanity. So they did accomplish this, and in the process figured out how, instead of controlling mass amounts of people physically, the best way would be to trick them conceptually into what I wanted to discuss some about, which is the idea of an externalized freedom. You can be tricked into this idea and still live in a cage, and some of the indications of it would be an invisible force around us that wants to control through cultural stimulation how we act, think, do things, reference our external reality, maybe quiet our internal reality and lend no credence to our inner voice, to our inner self, being convinced all the time that possibly things like that, like freedom, that's some external state that you can apply yourself to by walking onto a certain piece of land where they have different laws. These are all mental constructs and brainwashing. Freedom is a state of mind, of course. And when you discover what that is and how to achieve it in your own life in a day-to-day process, here comes the skunk sprayed pony, oh no, will we then discover how to achieve authentic freedom. And it's at that point that you learn you cannot go out and fight for freedom. And freedom absolutely is free. It's a state of mind that is paired together with, simultaneously, a certain way of being, acting, because that's what's creating. Our beliefs are just our beliefs, but they start the ball rolling that then becomes actions. When we're thoroughly brainwashed into thinking these external states of being exist, like man's law, someplace has freedom, someplace doesn't. Someplace has a better government system, someplace doesn't. We've just been manipulated into a construct for divide and conquer. From that position, we can all be put into a state of reaction, which is what we're experiencing now. We're not following our internal voice. We're not banding together around what's morally, obviously, a consensus that it's wrong to just kill no matter what government tells you to do it. So from this state of reaction, masses of people can be easily controlled by the injection of just a fear-based idea. You might lose your freedom that you never even had. Man, well, you're just now going nowhere and going nowhere. Totally within the confines of this mental trap. Watch out, pony. So, freedom as an inner state will have to occur first. And it won't be able to occur if we're still thinking that it's a good idea to achieve that on our own in some material sense without having done everything we can morally to be right with the other people in our lives. Where does this come into play in the whole thing? There is a new evolutionary concept that is happening. It doesn't matter if we want to adhere ourselves to this or not. This is what will dictate the amount of freedom we're going to experience, is the belief that what we do when no one's looking is important or not. What you think leads to how we act. We try to justify, we're going to be a school teacher, we try to justify, well, you got to do something for money, it's just a job. But then if it ends up that it's hurting children, it won't no longer be okay to do that just to get money, just as a job. There won't morally be the right to do that, to hurt somebody just for money. And I would say money is the worst reason. So there's a lot of things day to day that we've been convinced that are okay because everybody's got to have a job or everybody just does it for the money. That's going to be a non-valid anymore. And I'm sorry to alarm people to that fact, but who we are truly is going to make all the difference in the world now. Not what we conform to out of the need for money. If it's morally a wrong thing, it's not going to matter. It's not going to be okay, and we need to not do it. So freedom is being cut down by these ideas, as well as that reactionary state we were talking about. Media broadcasts, just like we were saying, Weather Channel, it just goes from one cataclysm to the next and just says bullcrap in between. We're just being manipulated by these things, and we need to reacquire our own sense of who, where, what we are. Do some real journalism on our own condition. Use those questions. This is a time in history that's going to be so positive and so great because the rubber is finally going to touch the road as far as our interaction in our own lives. So this is the great evolutionary process. Welcome to it, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Sovereignty Freestyle. I hope you hear in the moment through spontaneity what you need to from this. And I'll see you again soon. Appreciate it.